You've spent months, maybe even years, tracking every single penny in a spreadsheet. You know exactly what you spent on groceries. You know exactly what you spent on Netflix, on gas, and on that one iced coffee you bought last Tuesday when you were running late. And yet, despite knowing exactly where every cent went, you're still broke. Or at least, you aren't building the wealth you thought you would be. It's exhausting, isn't it? Logging into your banking app every 3 days. Feeling a knot in your stomach every time you swipe your debit card. Categorizing your expenses on Sunday nights while everyone else is relaxing. It feels like you're punishing yourself just for existing. The traditional finance gurus have convinced you that if you just stop buying lattes, and if you just track your pennies hard enough, you will magically become a millionaire. But here is the brutal, undeniable truth. You are focusing on the wrong numbers. Budgeting, the way you've been taught to do it, is a scam. It is a system designed to make you feel guilty, not wealthy. It relies entirely on willpower, and as human beings, our willpower is a depletable resource. By the end of a long workday, when your boss has been yelling at you and you are exhausted, your willpower to stick to the budget is at zero. You don't need another spending tracker. You don't need another app. You need a paradigm shift. Think about it like this. Imagine you are driving a car on a pitch-black highway, but instead of looking out the windshield at the road ahead, you are staring obsessively at the speedometer. You are watching the needle. Am I going 65? Am I going 68? Oh no, I hit 70. I need to slow down. You are entirely obsessed with the speed of your driving, but you have absolutely no idea where you are actually going. You're going to crash, or you're going to end up in the middle of nowhere. When you obsessively track your expenses, you are staring at the speedometer. You are trying to control the speed of your spending. But tracking your past purchases is like looking in the rearview mirror. It only tells you where you've already been. It does nothing to direct where you are going. You need to stop managing the speed of your spending and start controlling the destination of your money. There is a psychological concept called decision fatigue. Every time you have to decide whether or not to buy something, every time you have to ask yourself, is this in the budget? You drain a little bit of your mental energy. When you drain that energy, you inevitably give in. You buy the expensive dinner. You buy the shoes. And then what happens? The guilt sets in. You feel like a failure, so you abandon the budget entirely until next month, when the toxic cycle starts all over again. The wealthy do not rely on willpower to build wealth. They rely on automated systems. They make the decision to save and invest exactly one time, and then they let technology do the heavy lifting for the rest of their lives. You need a system, not a spreadsheet. I call this the anti-budget. It is a 3-bucket automated cash flow system. Once you spend the 2 hours it takes to set this up, you will never have to track a single purchase again. Let's break down exactly how you build this. Step 1. You must completely eliminate the concept of saving what is left over at the end of the month. Parkinson's law states that a task will expand to fill the time allotted for it. Well, the financial version of Parkinson's law is that your expenses will always expand to fill the income available. If you have $4,000 sitting in your checking account, you will magically find a way to spend $4,000. So, we remove the money before you can even see it. Your paycheck hits your account at 2 a.m. on a Friday. By 2:01 a.m., a predetermined percentage, say 15%, is automatically routed out of your checking account and into an investment portfolio or a high-yield savings account. You didn't click anything. You didn't approve anything. The money vanished into your wealth machine while you were literally fast asleep. That money is strictly untouchable. You start treating your savings and investments like a mandatory bill. In fact, it is the most important bill you have. It is the bill you pay to your future self. The absolute second your paycheck hits your account, a predetermined percentage is automatically routed out of your checking account and into an investment account or a high-yield savings account. You do this through your employer's HR portal by splitting your direct deposit or by setting up an automatic transfer at your bank that triggers the day after payday. That money isn't savings that you can dip into when you want to buy a new phone. That is your investment stake. It is untouchable. It is quietly compounding in the background while you sleep. Step 2. You automate your fixed costs. These are your survival numbers. Rent or mortgage, utilities, car payments, insurance, and minimum debt payments. These numbers rarely change from month to month. You are going to set up a dedicated checking account strictly for these bills. You calculate exactly how much these cost you every month, add a 10% buffer for slight variations in things like your electric bill, and you ensure that exact amount flows into this account automatically. Then, you put every single one of those bills on autopay. No manual transfers. No logging in on the 14th of the month to make sure you have enough to pay the internet bill on the 15th. No checking the balance. It just happens. By separating your bill money from your spending money, you eliminate the anxiety of accidentally spending your rent money on a weekend trip. The system protects you from yourself. Step 3. This is where the magic happens. This is the secret to actually sticking to a financial plan for decades. Whatever money is left over after Bucket 1 investments and Bucket 2 fixed bills are funded goes into your playground account. And you are going to spend every single cent of this money without an ounce of guilt. I mean it. If there is $800 in this account, you can blow it on fancy dinners, a weekend trip, designer clothes, or a ridiculously expensive hobby. You don't need to categorize it. You don't need to track it in an app. Because your future is already funded. Your bills are already paid. Let me show you exactly how this changes your life in the real world. Meet Josh. Josh wants a $150 dry-aged steak dinner on a random Tuesday. Old Josh would check his budgeting app, sees over his dining out limit by $12, feel intensely guilty by the steak anyway, and then hate himself in the morning for lacking discipline. New Josh. New Josh just checks his Playground Bank app. He sees there is $300 in the account. Josh buys the steak. He enjoys every single bite. Why? Because his rent is already paid. His retirement is already funded. If the money is in the playground account, it is explicitly designed to be burned on whatever brings him joy. But wait, what happens on Friday when Josh wants a $200 watch, but his playground account only has $150 left? He doesn't buy the watch. He doesn't borrow from his rent account. He doesn't pause his investments. He just waits until next month when the bucket refills. No spreadsheets. No agonizing math. Just a simple, stress-free, binary yes or no. The boundary is built in. This is the psychological release valve. Diets fail because they are entirely restrictive. If you cut out all carbs, you will eventually snap and eat 3 whole pizzas at 2 a.m. Budgeting is the same. If you restrict all your fun, you will eventually snap and finance a car you can't afford. But with this system, if the money is in your playground account, it's meant to be spent. You can swipe your card with zero anxiety. And if the account hits zero, you simply wait until next month. No stress, no borrowing from savings, just a simple boundary created by your system. Now, I know exactly what your brain is doing right now. It's looking for excuses. You're thinking, this sounds great for someone making 6 figures, but I live paycheck to paycheck. Let me stop you right there. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, you need this system more than the millionaire does. When your margins are thin, the mental tax of tracking every penny is crushing. If you can only afford to send 1% of your income into Bucket 1, then you send 1%. The dollar amount does not matter at the beginning. What matters is the habit and the infrastructure. You are building the pipes. Right now, only a trickle of water is going through those pipes. But as your income grows, as you get a raise, or as you start a side hustle, you don't have to change your behavior. You just let the new money flow through the exact same automated pipes. But what if my income is totally unpredictable? I'm a freelancer, or I work on commission. The system still works. Instead of routing fixed dollar amounts, you route percentages. Every time you get paid, whether it's $500 or $5,000, your bank or accounting software can automatically split that check. 20% to taxes, 20% to investments, 40% to fixed costs, 20% to guilt-free spending. The math scales to fit your reality. The only thing that is inflexible is the rule of automation. You must remove your own fingers from the buttons. When you implement this anti-budget system, two profound things happen to your life. First, you build wealth on autopilot. While your coworkers are stressing over the stock market or reading another book on how to clip coupons, your net worth is quietly growing in the background. You are dollar-cost averaging into your investments every single month, completely blind to the noise. You win the game of finance simply by refusing to play it manually. Second, and more importantly, it kills the financial anxiety that is ruining your life. You get your time back. You get your Sunday evenings back. You never have to look at a spending pie chart ever again. You aren't going to get rich by depriving yourself of a $5 coffee. You aren't going to save $1,000 a month by clipping coupons or negotiating a $10 discount on your cable bill. You are going to build immense wealth by removing the decision-making process entirely. Your discipline will fail you. Your willpower will fail you. You are human, but a well-built system? A system never gets tired. A system never gets emotional. A system never fails. You're probably looking at your current bank setup right now, realizing it's a mess of tangled accounts and manual transfers. The truth is, this works exactly because it is boring, and boring builds wealth. If you are ready to stop tracking pennies and start building a machine that grows your net worth while you sleep, you need the right tools. You need to know exactly which accounts to open, how to link them, and how to set the routing rules so the money moves invisibly. If you want the exact, step-by-step automation checklist you need to run your life on autopilot, hit the subscribe button right now. We are going to build your pipes. Stop the spreadsheet. Build the system. Let's get to work.